Oh, hello there. I'm Jade Monkey, and I'm back with more Star Citizen 2.6. And YouTube's algorithm is still totally broken, so let's shoot for 500 likes on this one. And now, without further ado, let's take a look at the Drake Interplanetary Herald. Let's land this thing and take a look. Known as a data runner, apparently this ship is all about getting in and getting out. In all intents and purposes, the way I've seen this so far is this is most definitely a weak ship, but it is a fast ship. Its armaments appear to be, I wouldn't say bare minimum, but I wouldn't say strong either. They appear to be the Badger repeaters. It says 4 on the ship computer, but I only see 3. One on the front, one on the wing here. Let me see if I can get the light on it. Ugh. Oh, we can't see it very well. One on the wing, and then there should be one on the opposite side wing as well. Yep, right here. There could be one on top, I'm not sure. And I think you saw possibly there on the other side, there are also missile pods. 8? 8. Maybe 8, hard to tell. Get a better count later, once we can actually see it. It appears to be 8, so 16 in total. I don't know exactly which ones these are because I can't see the item port system right now for some reason in this Grim Hex, but that's alright. Another important thing to note is the size, or the height of the Herald. It is quite tall and it gets quite bulky in the back. Yeah, I'll try to stand next to it so you can get a better sense of scale. So that means you probably can't stash this in the hull of most of the ships that we're aware of now. Definitely not the Starfarer. Definitely not the Caterpillar. The Caterpillar is too stout. It's very, very long. But there's no way this bad boy would fit in there. I mean, look, this just dwarfs me just walking past it. But it does seem to have a significant amount of, not firepower, but thrust or power. And unfortunately, this version that I'm currently using, it's janky. I mean, I am in the universe, but I'm in offline mode, and I can't go over 50. So I have not been able to throttle this thing up yet. Now, I will be able to on the PTU, which should be coming out very, very soon for 2.6. But I mean, as you can see this right here, it's quite ridiculous. I mean, look at these engines. I don't even know what kind of engines these are. They're just huge. I mean, you try to fly this thing in third person in the back, and all you see is the ass end of this aircraft. It does seem to be quite nimble. That's one thing I can attest to now, even though I can't go over 50. All these maneuvering thrusters that we see on the side here definitely help it move quickly. So I would say it's got the agility for sure, but again, until I can test it in universe, it's kind of hard to say. So the main function of this ship, as I'm sure most everybody knows by now, is its data running capabilities. And you might have noticed it already on the side, but as we walk up here, you can see these different modules. I don't know if these are data arrays. Whatever it is, it looks fragile. And I'll show you later, not only is this ship does not have a lot of, what's the right word, hull strength, but maybe some of these things make it a bit more susceptible to explosions. Whatever this is, if this carries information, it seems brittle. And it is most definitely attached to the outside. Now, I don't know if this is going to be part of the satellite array on the back here. Actually, this is symmetrical, so you'll see these things on both sides. This array and that, whatever that SATA, whatever it is, it looks like a module. Yeah, it looks like a module of some sort. Until we get more information online about those different systems and how they interact, or how the mechanics would work in the game, it's really hard to say, but you can speculate. Let's go take a look at the other side. Yep, same thing. And I'll notice we have some of these cables here, and I have noticed, especially on the, the Constellation Andromeda, a lot of these power cables that you'll see, and now these aren't particularly colored, but not only are they visually interesting, but the different colors do have meanings. And I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll try to put an overlay up now on screen to show, and this is, again, this is super, super early. And they even said this is going to be a final, but if you look at these different control systems and how they interact with each other, from avionics to thrusters to power management to cooling, and I'm sure the data management will come into play here because there's a computer. There's different points where you can actually interact with the computer and to overclock it, whether it be that module. It should make things interesting. So if you pay attention to the colors on this diagram, you can see that the colors mean certain things, or they're attached to certain systems. And to go back to the Herald here and what I was saying outside, now these particular cables aren't colored, maybe not yet, maybe they're just part of this module, but most of the time when you see those colored pipes, cables in game, they usually are connected to a real system or component that in the future we will be able to swap out, change, modify, overclock, make better. And I just thought it was worth noting with the Herald because I think some of those systems will really come into play here. I think they'll come into play with all of the ships, but more importantly the Herald because of its nature, because of the data running aspect. I mean, it just brings up great questions like, what do you think we could do with these things? Are there things we could do with information running that would make it more profitable? Yeah, probably profitable. I think that's what we all want to do in the universe, right? Is make some kind of scratch, space scratch. And again, pure speculation on my part, but it's really interesting to see the depth that they brought into this game, even at a surface level that we can see. This diagram's probably almost a year old now, so it's really hard to say where it's at now, but it opens up quite a bit, and I think once we step inside the aircraft, you'll start to see more of what I'm talking about, where not these different details inside the ship and computers, for the most part, aren't for show. They will be anchored to something of substance. So let's go ahead and jump inside. Oh, and we do have the thought system now, which is great. It does make opening and closing things much easier. See, maybe first person might be the best for this. Oh, this isn't bad. You can still see quite a bit over my head. Okay, it's a little cramped in here. And again, beautiful, beautiful modeling, detail, texture mapping, shader work. I mean, they just look at this detail. It's amazing. Look at the seat. The controls, the different gadgets connected, and this is very much a Drake-looking type ship, but that's what makes it so beautiful. And again, this is pretty close in here, so let me see if I can turn around without having the camera freak out. And again, this is pre-alpha, so any kind of glitches you see and stuff, these are not totally representative of the game. So right out of the gate, we can see we have a gun rack, which is great. It appears to be 6. And again, a lot of this is speculation because I don't know about the mechanics, but you see a lot of different arrays for computer parts, racks on the side, and definitely a computer terminal here. And again, we don't know what that mechanic is, so it's really hard to say, but I mean, look at all this detail. I don't see any of those colored cables, I don't think. We see some red ones. And again, I don't have the diagram up, but I wonder if these are in relation to what those wires do. Interesting. And to go back to what I was saying, I'm rambling a little bit. If you do check on the Andromeda, the constellation Andromeda, it's a current ship that's in game now, you can see a lot of those different types of piping going to different areas. Same with the Retaliator. Also, what's the other one? The Warden, the Aegis Warden. So just pay attention to some of these details. Sometimes you'll see them under kick plates in the floor. And again, on this ship, you can see some access panels. I don't know if this is part of the styling, or if you'll be able to bring some of these up, but I know in some of the other ships you can. Or let's squeeze past this chair. But again, if you look at the different server racks here, we got a good 4 tall racks in play here. So this is computing power. I don't know if this would be processing power or storage, or if these blocks here would be part of the storage. Hard to say, but they definitely look like modules or components. Either way, it looks pretty badass. I mean, just look at this. Doesn't it look crazy? Looks awesome, dude. I want to do a bunch of longhand math and shit in here. And this appears to be a crew quarter. One? Singular, maybe? Oh, and how could we forget the shitter? That space poop. It's so important when you're doing longhand math in space. You gotta make sure you take a hot dump and then wash your hands. Because, you know, poo fingers are gross. Oh, cool. I never noticed this before. It says storage. And that does bring up another interesting aspect of this. Oh, that's cool, man. It looks like some crazy-ass basement installation. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So storage space. As you can see, this ship is very, very cramped. And let me see if I can get a third person so we can... It's interesting. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. Whoa, that says use. Oh, that's the seat. You dummy. Let me get it back inside. Let me inside. Alright, let me get out of here. So, as I was saying before I so rudely jacked up the camera, storage space. I mean, just look at my character. This ship is very, very compressed. I'm sure we could fit 2 people, 1 person in the cockpit flying, and then maybe some people standing room only, but I mean, it's pretty crammed. But I know the module system, or I'm sorry, the cargo system, let me squeeze past that chair, is in such a way where there are objects you will be able to bring on the ship, and as far as I know and I've read up to this point, it will be physicalized. So we will have actual objects we can carry with us, and it again brings up the question, could we stick them there? Maybe. Could we throw them back here by the shitter and the toilet? Maybe. We don't know. But we do know the cargo system, or parts of it, will be coming online here in 3.0 after 2.6. Which should... I mean, that'll be one of the first things I test. Just throwing shit around and see if it hits people in the head and knocks them out or not. Let me just look around in the ceiling. I haven't had a chance to check that out, see if I can see any kind of systems or... It's access, but that might be more visual. Oh, you know what? That might be part of the cooling system. Maybe. Or a fuel line, actually. Don't know. Speculation. Ooh, is that a red pipe? It is a red pipe. How cool would that be to interact with different components? And ooh, I didn't notice that was red either. And not only to come in and for you to fix it, be like, let's go to the engine room and go fix this shit in the back, but to sabotage somebody else's ship and to have these different parts interact with each other in a more realistic way. I'm super excited for that. Super, super excited. I'm just trying to take a look at this detail without the camera freaking out on me. Alright, let's get in this thing and fly it around and just kind of see how it handles a little bit. Alright. Okay, get back in the... Yeah. You can see in the back, as I was saying earlier, it's nothing but engine. A little hard to see, but with the new camera system it does help.
Flare launched.
It does say flare launched when you start. Broken. Ah, better. Much better. We can see around the ship a bit easier. Again, you can see those thrusters. The repeaters. Is there a gun on top? Let's take a look. I don't see one. Ah, I see more of those SATA rays. That has to be part of the scanning. Yeah, that goes all the way around that cylinder. I mean, look at the detail in this ship. It's fantastic. Thruster effects look great. Now let's put in the landing gear, see what that looks like. Boop. Okay, this is a little weird. So you do hit Z to look down. And I think you hover now, and I think it zooms in on it. There it is. Wow, it seems a bit slow, but that's alright. It's early alpha. I get it. We get it, you vape. ADS computer, bearing. I'm not sure what the bearing shit is. Maybe that's the module that those missiles sit on. Not sure. Badger, right there. And not all of these are labeled, but sometimes you can turn these on and off. I know you can do it on the Andromeda. Kind of fly around. It does have the agility. It does seem quick. It's nothing like an 85X or a... What's the other one that's really quick? A Titan, the Warlock, or even the Omega. Is it the Omega that's the racer? Whatever the Mustang is, that's the racer. And there's another fast one of them. Oh, the Merlin. The Merlin's very, very quick. This is quick, but I think it's quick for its size. I have to be extra careful not to smack into anything here in the asteroid field. I'm not used to the size of this aircraft. I might slap into something. It's not like I can fly third person because this is what I see. Nothing but spaceship butthole. Oh, that's not bad. It's a cool shot, but you can't exactly fly by that. Ooh, am I under something? Over me. Look at all that. Ooh, worth noting, they said that they upped their asteroid field and they have better tools to actually do it. So, I mean, I would say, yeah, they totally pulled that off. Look at the sheer quantity outside. It's mind-boggling. Alright, so the surprise here is there are remnants of the raceway track here, and I know they brought it up a while ago before 2.5 came out, and I know I was looking for it inside of the 2.5 release. And let's see if we can't... I hope I don't blow up. See if we can't find the remnants of it. And if it is truly active in 2.6, not only will that be cool, but it'll be harder for me to see it as it stands now because I'm in offline mode. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I'm hoping, I'm wishing that the raceway track is here. I didn't see any parts of it last time. What is this? I don't recall this. Like a doorway? A doorway? What is this? I don't really know what that is. Maybe remnants of the processing or cargo that is the asteroid Hex, Grim Hex? Not sure. Don't hit the rocks. Don't hit the rocks. I'm gonna try to fly around the main facility that's in this rock. Shit, I almost hit that top. I know, I'm so nervous I'm gonna blow up. Couldn't do this before because the item ports weren't showing up inside of Grim Hex on the runway. So let's take a look at the Herald's loadouts, armaments, sizes, components. They appear to be gimbaled. That is a size 3, and that's a CF 111 Badger, which is a size 2. So the slot is 3, gimbal takes down 1. I'm interested to see what kind of missiles are on here. Looks like there's quite an array. They all appear to be a size 1. Task Force. Yep, all Task Force over there. Looks like the missiles are showing up on the other side. And the cooler is Barian. And power plant size 1. That makes sense. And this, I believe, is the same size. Yep, 3. Gimbaled. Turret, and let's hug the inside to see if there's anything we're missing. same. Size 3. Gimbaled, so it's a size 2 weapon. And let's check the ordnance on this side, which I would imagine would also be size 1. And they appear to look the same. Yep. All task force, 1, size 1. And there are 8 on each side, so that would make a total of 16. Looks like we got a little shader error. So they're all gimbaled, size 2 weapons, and that's 16 missiles, size 1. All level 1 cooler, and the power plant also appears to be level 1. I don't have access to the shield information, so undetermined at this point. 117 batch of repeaters. Alright, so here's a look at the 117 badge of repeaters on the front of the Herald. Get this in view. That's primary fire on the nose and then secondary. And all 3. That'll do it for this in-depth look at the Drake Interplanetary Herald. Check back soon for more 2.6 content and other ships and possibly gameplay as soon as whenever they release the PTU. And if you like my content, consider giving me a little subby doodles, and don't forget, plenty of other series running on my channel still. We've got the BoiFriendSquad PvP Series and the good old Saga of Server 49. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.